Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Typical Skeptic Podcast. I'm really excited about my guest today. I have back my good friend Pink Bell. Aloha. Today we're going to be getting into the Galactic Akashic records. We have a lot awesome topics for today, between everything from David Wilcock to, everything you guys saw on the thumbnail. So it's going to be action packed. Pink Bell offers deep dives into Galactic Akashic records, personal ancestral contracts, karmic loops, ascension, way shower to prepare starseeds light workers for the 144,000, 5D New Earth and Galactic Starseed Origins, higher self liaison, quantum multidimensional healer, including the 12 to 22 chakras and meridian systems, Starseed Origins and Galactic Councils of Light Transmissions, Dragon Activations Training, and Divine Goddess activations. And like I said, if you saw the thumbnail, we're going to be getting into a lot of cool topics today. So yeah. Let me see here. I had it here. It's not pulling up. So yeah. Yeah. But anyway, sorry. Thanks so much for coming back on. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
It's a crazy time. And just, if you don't know, you know how we just went through that crazy full moon in Scorpio?
Yeah.
We're still in Scorpio energy because Pluto went retrograde today in Aquarius. And Pluto, it depends on who you talk to, but Pluto is ruled by Scorpio. So it's a bit intense today.
Wow. Yeah, I would agree. But yeah, I just put up the thumbnail. So we're going to talk about David Wilcock, the missing scientist, anti-gravity and UFO disclosure, Amy Eskridge, the Winfrey connection to David Wilcock, ancient aliens connections, Area 51 and 17 earthquakes, and clone replacements. So it's a lot of stuff.
It's a lot going on. It's kind of all interconnected. And I'm excited about us doing the show today because it's been a couple of weeks, right? So rest in peace again to David Wilcock. And every time I look at it, it looks different. It looks like, yes, he's no longer here, but if we look at it multidimensionally, he's been transported off Earth. He's somewhere else working on the mission from not here. And like David is no longer being David. So he's not putting out content as David. But I'm getting a headache about it. So I have asked for protection for all of us today because some of these topics seem to be the dark ETs seem to be really interested in what we're all doing. They're not. And if you all have had interference since the full moon, you have not been imagining things. They used it as an offensive. I looked at it on Monday because I too had quite a brutal weekend. So the message from the dark forces is they want us all to stop being in the light. They want us all to give up. They want us all to not be on the planet. And the other message I got is we are receiving positive, like radio stations, we're receiving positive and negative messages all day long. So it's not just that they are, targeting us like through this full moon, etc. They use certain astrology to amplify their message. So the dark forces were able to use the full moon, and they're using Pluto retrograde. I felt it this morning too, because it's connected to the Scorpio energy and other agreements that they have. So what's happening is like that they've turned up the volume, they've amplified the volume, and the other messages are still there, but we have to use our tools more during this time. Right?
Yeah, I've been getting spiritually attacked big time, target.
That's why I emailed you to ask you, because I was as well. Yeah, it started for me last Thursday. Well,
I noticed I get attacked during shows a lot, so it makes me think that someone's going to, someone wants me to, or so they're trying to get me to quit doing my show, but that's never going to happen. So,
well, exactly. So I just like, yeah, hey, dark forces, I can feel you around me, but get lost.
Yeah,
like I have a right to be on the planet. You have a right to be on the planet doing your mission. We all have a right to be here. But yeah, they've really been, and I've seen a lot of people sharing this. So we have to turn up the volume on our positive messages to ourselves. So stage your home, listen to positive affirmations, put on frequencies, and you may need to have them on 24/7. Yeah, it's been rough. Absolutely, it's been rough. It's been like quite the ride. I've had a few cries, and I'm like, then I get rebooted. I'm like, okay, good. Other thing I want to share just quickly, everyone, is my Starseed kitty. So if you are a pet owner, he super reacts to some of the transits. So he reacted to the full moon on the weekend, and he reacted to Pluto going retrograde this morning. He got sick. So he's okay now, but he really shows me when it's a really deep transit, and he can't handle it. So he's okay now. I did a little write-up on my post today just about like our ascension symptoms and animal systems. And I always forget that I do offer animal crystal distance healing. If any of your pets need any assistance out there, I do offer that. And I did. I forget, right, Rob? Because I offer so many things. I don't often talk about the pets. But my Starseed kitty really, he was in bad shape this morning, and he kind of gave out a yowl. So I apologize to him that it was Pluto. He seems to react to Pluto movements for whatever reason.
Yeah. At least he's okay though, you know. Like
he bounces back super good, thank goodness.
Yeah, that's awesome.
He'll be like 15 minutes later. Okay, I want food now. I'm good.
Wait, go ahead, talk for a second. I'm going to turn on this fan. Give me 1 second, okay?
Yes.
I'll be right back. I just got to turn this on. It's something done with this. I don't know. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, please be in nature. By the way, too, the other, Rob doesn't know, we had crazy heat here in the Pacific Northwest. Oh, wait till Rob, I don't know if Rob can hear me.
I'm back.
Okay. No, Rob, we had a heat wave on the weekend. We had almost 90 Fahrenheit on the weekend.
Wow, that's insane.
That is insane. And that is not normal. And that is an assault on humanity, like to have that early. Because I looked at your weather. You've got like the normal weather with a little bit of rain and like cool temperatures. And we're back to that today. But that is an agenda. So then they can come in and say, oh, we're restricting water already. And then forest fires are going to suddenly appear. And, we've been talking about this for years, right?
Yeah. And here it's like they make it miserable every day as far as we don't have any of that disastrous stuff, but we have rain every day. It's gloomy.
Yeah, I saw that. I thought you're all getting our rain. That's crazy. So I've asked the divine forces to kind of balance it all out for all of us. You guys get some sun and we get some of the rain. Like we need the rebalance, right?
I don't know why it's been like this. It was never like this when I grew up. Like it just changed.
Well, same with the heat here. It hasn't been as intense as it has been the last couple of years ever.
Wow.
They're fiddling around. Yeah. So all the topics kind of intermingle, everyone. And I was super interested with the Area 51, like that made mainstream. The 17 earthquakes under Area 51 was on mainstream media.
Wow.
So, and then I saw Stephen Greer kind of make an announcement about it. So I wanted to look and see like what's going on underneath.
Do you think there might be like underground bases under there or something?
Yes, there are. And I believe that, he actually alluded to that. We are getting super close. I went to look at the alien.gov website last night. It's live. And there is some information on there. And they kind of have a download button, but I went to go download it and nothing's happening yet, but they've got it all set up to start releasing files.
Huh. I find that weird that they it's cool that they're releasing that they want to release disclosure, but like, why are they setting up an alien.gov website? It's almost like, are they trying to monetize it, or like, what are they, you know what I mean?
I think it's like the e-files. I think it's like the e-files where they want to make it like, okay, people can go download it and analyze it. And that's what people are going to do. Like all the podcast people, we're all going to download the files and start looking at them because they'll be from the 3-letter agencies, right? So, but I wanted to just go see. I knew it was live 2 weeks ago. I wanted to see how far along, and it's getting pretty far along. Like they're at the point where they're ready to release some of the files for sure.
Yeah, and Jason brought up a good point in the chat. Jason said and this is a big thing. I'll mention two things. There's an MK Ultra hearing, the first one ever, 13th, and then also they said, I heard there was a rumor that they said that the government went to like these Christian pastors and told them to get ready because disclosure is coming, which is crazy.
I saw that. I reposted that as well.
Well, yeah, like what it's weird. It's weird stuff going on.
And the fellow who did that clip, he wasn't at the meeting, but one of his friends who's a pastor was at the meeting and let him know. So it's spreading like wildfire. And one of the messages that came out of that was, it looks like they possibly may be trying to say that all aliens and ETs are demonic.
Yeah,
which isn't true.
Yeah.
That's not true. So, but you know what? They could be trying to go in like little pieces. Like if they're looking at all the religious groups, and if all the religious groups believe that even, when we talk about angels, even that they are demonic, then well, some of them, in the hologram are. So they may be doing it piece by piece, and I'm getting, so you guys all know about my superpowers. If you don't, welcome. My superpowers, when we're talking about stuff that the other team, the dark team, doesn't want us talking about, I get pressure on my head.
Yeah.
Like they're pushing, they're trying to push me. And there's no threat. I've set everything up with source. We're all protected, but because they don't want us they don't even want us talking about David Wilcock. They want it to be the narrative, like accept the narrative and move on.
I think David Wilcock very could have well been like, I when I had Brian on my show, we kind of talked about this. I think he could have very well been like bullied and coerced into his unaliving.
Yeah, I just got my God bumps about that. But the other thing I want to look at, maybe he was David Wilcock 2.0.
Oh yeah, like he was a clone or something. Yeah. That's possible.
Because and I just saw something, Elizabeth April just shared this too. That's why I wanted us to talk about clones today and look at it, because he looked way different. Like I didn't follow his work, but anyone who followed his work after the lockdowns, he looked way different.
I would follow his streams, I would catch these shows like Truth Seekers and Hidden in Plain Sight. They would, anytime Corey Good or David Wilcock did something, they would put out a disc piece on him. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I would always catch those. And it's like, man, it's like some of those shows would tear him to shreds. I don't have a problem with any of those shows, but I'm just saying,
but that was all that was pre-lockdown.
Yeah.
Like post-lockdown, he was just doing his own shows. That's my sort of what I got research-wise. And then he looked different. And yeah, I would say even when I looked at his last live, I thought it doesn't even look like him.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then I started thinking, well, I want us, and you guys throw some names out and we'll look at them today because I want to look at this. Like, what if he was already replaced after that, like in 2022? That's why I wanted to bring up 2022, because Amy Eskridge disappeared. She had her thing happen in 2022, which is way early.
Yeah.
Way early. Like none of us would have been paying attention to anything that she was doing. And she was, you guys, there's tons of clips about her. She was working on the same thing: anti-gravity, propulsion, time travel, all of that.
Yeah, that's what I was going to bring up. I had Sarah Breastman Cosme. She's like a Dolores Cannon QHHT, and she okay. So whereas like Carrie Cassidy thinks that David Wilcock was working on free energy, Sarah Breastman Cosme thinks that he was working on time travel. So it could be somewhat of both.
I think all of it. Yeah, and I think that the thing, what's really good about Amy is she was doing a lot of social media, so she left crumbs for us to kind of look back on, because now it's 2026, right? And she also was in touch with someone every day, and she said she would never harm herself.
Wow.
Right. I saw other podcasters look into her. So apparently she unalived herself the same way as the story is with David.
And how about this Winfrey mystery? Like when I had Jay Widener on, he confirmed that. So Winfrey, I guess, was David is his videographer. So I don't know what he
biographer. They wrote a book together. So David thought he was the incarnation of Edward Casey, and Winfrey was writing a book about David, included in that Edward Casey. I think the book was, you guys can look it up, or maybe Jason knows. I think the book was published in 2004. So David and him did it together. So if you go and look up that book, it has both of their names on it. But David found out about Winfrey on his last live on April 19th. Now, apparently there's all this hazy mystery about Winfrey. Like you can hardly find anything about what happened to him. Some people said he was suddenly ill. Some people said he unalived himself. Like I can't find any information out really at the moment, but it was a day or two before David.
Yeah, and I don't know if you checked this out, but there was also like David was really big into the Law of One. Like he would talk about the Law of One a lot. And the guy who was a part of the channeling team for the Law of One, Don Elkins, I guess his name was, he had the same way of unaliving as David, which was by, gun by police or, in front of police or whatever.
So I'm getting my God bump. So I think that they think that we're all not smart enough to put it together.
Yeah.
Right. So how about, like, this other thing came to me. How about if we all have a piece of the puzzle, including Carrie?
Yeah.
Like Carrie knew the real David. Like they were both in California and they did a lot of stuff together, and she knew the real David. But I don't think even she was in touch with him in the last year or so. I know the lawsuit, like you had Jay on. I know the lawsuits were still ongoing. Like they got quite heavy in 2025. So what if there was already like a replacement for David? And this is what Elizabeth. Okay, what's her last
April.
name? April. Thank you. I'm going. What is her last name? So she brought up a really good point, and you and I've talked about this before. Do clones actually know if they're clones? They don't.
That's a good point. Yeah.
So that's what she brought up. So she brought up like, she asked her team, do clones even know if they're clones? And they're like, nope, because they're completely like, they've got the DNA of the other person. They got all the memories downloaded. They are completely trained to be that individual. So that means that if that being that went through that trauma, that was David, like I want to see, was it David 2.0? Because if it was, then the other David is safe away somewhere. And I just keep getting that he is off planet, that he already was taken somewhere else off planet, that it wasn't safe enough for him to be here.
Possibly, I don't know.
Yeah. So where should we start? We've got lots to cover.
Maybe we could ask about what happened with I don't know. Let me see here.
Do you want to do Area 51 first, and then all the other stuff is kind of connected?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. And then if you all like that, people are even questioning Stephen Greer. Like, what side is he on?
Yeah. Well, he said a lot of weird stuff in the past. Some of the stuff he says doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? Like he's really like, I don't know.
I'm getting my God bumps. Like he actually could be a PR person for things that are unfolding in the background.
You know what he said one time, and I swear to God he said this. And when he said this, I was like, okay, I can never take this guy seriously. He actually tried saying that I wish I could find the clip. He actually tried saying that all the alien abductions, every alien abduction that ever happened was the United States military, and he said they were using midgets and they were dressing up midgets in alien costumes. That's literally what he said. I was like, I don't know. That's not.
I think it's both, right? Like, I think it's both because I think, okay, let's think about this. The reason being is, so if I go back to X-Files that I'm rewatching right now, it kind of turns around that it is the military, but it's also the military working with the certain ET races, like the Greys and the Zetas, okay? So, or the Draconians, Reptilians, whoever, right? So it's a little bit of both. And if we look at like the energy behind the Reptilians and the Draconians, well, they want the humans as food. Yeah, so there could have been some kind of agreement with that, right? So it's all bad, like it's all like horrible. But I don't feel it's all of them. I do feel that there are other races, like the SSP program and all of that. There are other races that are doing their own thing.
Well, there were literally millions of alien abductions. So if the government was using midgets, they would have to get a lot of midgets to take it, and then that would mean the United States government was going to like Africa and South America and New Zealand and Australia.
So he's probably going to he's probably going to change that story now because they're going to give him.
I think he's a government agent. I'm pretty sure.
I think so too. I think so too. I think so too. So let's look at.
Sorry. Go ahead. Yeah.
No, I was just going to say, finish with what you're saying, and then we'll look. I'll just say, like, what do we need to know about the earthquakes underneath the Area 51?
It's just like you said, he seems like a PR person, Greer. You know what I mean? Like for the government, I don't know. Like kind of like a Lou Elizondo, Like,
does he? So I don't really follow his work, but I do see his work come up. So does he does he align himself with a certain group or all these different podcasts and everything? Or is he just like solo on his own?
Greer? Yeah.
He
says he's like on his own. He doesn't align. He says he's against the government, but I don't know. It doesn't. I don't know. I question him. He could be. He has done a lot for the community as far as like CE5 and like putting that out and stuff like that. But he thinks that a lot of. One thing that Greer thinks is another thing he says he thinks there's no negative ETs. He thinks like most of the beings here are positive, which I kind of doubt that too, because I think there's all kinds,
I agree. Yeah, there's going to be dark and light of all of them. Of course there is, because that's the nature of the universe. That's the polar opposites. And by the way, may the fourth be with you. Like happy Star Wars Day. We just went through that. I was all excited, and I wanted to go watch Star Wars. And then I watched like the first half hour of it, and I couldn't do it because there's some. And when I looked at it on Monday, it's because there's something going on connected to the Orion system. What's with what this dark offensive right now that we've just been going through since the weekend. So I had to put on something happy. But I love Star Wars, and it doesn't usually bother me, but it's almost like that was being maneuvered, that they knew a lot of people were going to be watching the Star Wars series that night, and there was weird energy around it, so I turned it off.
Yeah. Speaking of which, we're getting close to it. I mean, I didn't realize it's already May. We're getting close to the premiere of Disclosure Day. It should be like really soon, I think. Isn't it 6/12 or something like that?
Yeah, and I think that is why all of this stuff is being dumped now.
Wow. Yeah. I definitely want to go see that movie. I want to go see it in the theater. I never go see anything in the theater, but I will go see that.
Think, from what I saw, it's only being released in the theater initially. So that's really interesting, right? And then, and I'm not going to go do it because I don't like going to those big theaters anymore, but that's just me. Yeah. But I'm excited to see it whenever I get to watch it and see it. Okay. So Area 51. Yeah, this is what I got on Monday. Queen of Swords. There's a battle going on underneath. And I got that they were cleaning up tunnels. So there are just so y'all know, there are tunnels under Area 51. I believe both Stephen Greer and Bob Lazar have talked about that. There are tunnels under Area 51. This is interesting. 4 of Cups. So this is us. So it's kind of like let's see if everyone pays attention to it, how many people even caught that story. Do people even care about Area 51 anymore? Yeah, we all care. But there are a lot of people don't. A lot of the mainstream people don't care. They're like, oh, that's just fake. Like a lot of people think it's just fake still. Like they don't, even with all the information coming out. Now, this is one of like my good military alliance cards. So it is even that story. It's an operation that they're involved in, but it's also like they too were monitoring if that story was going to happen. So when I looked at it on Monday, I'll ask for clarification cards. When I looked at it on Monday, it looked like there was some kind of cleanup and battle down below. Like there was some rogue ETs that were doing some stuff. So they kind of had to do some cleanup, and that it was taken care of. It was handled. So let me just see what else we need to know. Okay, we got 2 of Wands. And everyone, the Galactic records are open. I opened them before we went live. And I use just so you know, anyone who's new, I just use the cards to kind of help us focus in on the information that I get downloaded. Oh, wow. We got the Death card, which is the Scorpio energy, which is what we're in right now. We just went into that full moon Scorpio, and we're still like Pluto retrograde is Scorpio energy. So there was some kind of interference with like 2 off-planet groups, ET groups. Yeah. And there was this really isn't a Death card. It's kind of more of a a transformation card, but it is connected to the Scorpio energy. And I just noticed this on the card that there's actually like somebody kneeling in front of the horse, like they're being taken over. So what I'm hearing is that, there was a kerfuffle. There was some kind of offensive of like trying to maybe take some tech or take over something, and it's been handled. Yeah. This card, it was a Hanged Man just flew out. It was an uncomfortable situation that's been handled. So there you go.
Oh, wow, that was interesting. Yeah, I mean, so it's really interesting what's going on there. Do you think it's like a battle with like negative ETs or something? Like, do you think it's like the earthquakes are actually? People have said this before. People think that the earthquakes are actually explosions, and that there's like a war going on between maybe the military and reptilians. Like we've heard this in the past. Like, what do you think?
I just got my God bump. So I never even thought about that until you shared that. And what does so someone was also sharing that the number 17 was a comm.
Huh.
That 17 was a comm that's been sent out like by a Q comm. So if anybody in the chat knows what that means, let us know. And 17 right now, I'm just remembering. So 17th of April was the Aries stellium of 7 planets. And literally we went into everybody went into a new timeline. So if you've all had people that have been on this path with you for years. They might be on a completely different timeline right now, and you're going to notice them acting weird. Like I saw Source basically did like a reset button for
That
all
is
of us.
weird that it was 17 earthquakes supposedly. Maybe you knew Q people were gonna Q people are gonna pick up on
Oh,
that.
Q is 17th. It's the 17th letter.
Yeah,
Okay.
like that could just be a weird coincidence, or it could be, I don't know. I haven't been the biggest believer in Q, to be honest.
Well, I haven't, but there's something to do with the numbers and numerology because the whole universe is set on mathematical numbers.
Yeah.
So there's something to the numbers for sure. And I don't know about you, but I've been looking at numbers since I was a kid. Like I always see signs on license plates and all sorts of things. So I'm not totally on board with the Q thing either, but I do find it interesting. Like I do know that they're using the media, even for all of us, giving us a drop. So yeah, so 17.
I'm looking at the new two numbers now, like 51, area 51 and 17 earthquakes. I'm seeing if there's any kind of, anybody can put anything together in the chat there with between those numbers. Put it in the chat what you think it is. I'd be curious to see what people come up with. Like, I'm not getting anything. I don't know, but I don't know.
Well, I'm also like just even looking at the astrology. So if I go to the 17th in March, that was just before the equinox. There was a lot going on then as well.
Absolutely.
And then I think the 17th of, I can't remember April. I'd have to look at the astrology. It feels like there's been something, and they all use the astrology. Like that's the thing. The dark teams and the light teams use the astrology. So that was my epiphany the other night. I thought, oh, they get an opportunity to turn up the volume, depending on, and especially like, Rob, I don't know about your astrology, but you might have some Scorpio placements. You might have something that opens up that portal for Scorpio energy. And I don't have a lot of it, but there was something going on for me for sure.
I don't know.
I don't know either. Okay, sure. So apparently I'm just asking, like, what was that all about? Oh yeah, that's what we were asking about. Are the earthquakes like a battle going on under the tunnels? Yeah, we got this is like a big this can be a shock, like a big surprise. So thanks for bringing that forward, because I didn't even put two and two together. That maybe that's what the earth, because we've been lied about everything.
Yeah.
Right. So we've been like a lot of us know about the tunnels, the underground tunnels, but a lot of individuals don't.
Yeah. It's something could be going on under there. That's a good point. Yeah. I don't know what it is though.
I don't know either yet. So I just it was a big event with the 17 earthquakes. And probably the word earthquake is also like a calm for a bunch of the military groups. Okay, everything's okay. Now we got the Chariot card. So it's like everything's moving forward efficiently. 9 of Swords. I'm wondering if, who is that about? Is that about everybody that was working there? 2 of Cups is the clarity card. Knight of Cups. Okay, I'm just hearing that even the word earthquake triggers a lot of people. It makes people go into stress. So there could be a lot of souls here who've gone through big earth. I mean, there's been huge earthquakes that have been devastating.
Is that area like common for earthquakes? That's something I'd like to know. I wonder if like the
apparently I did hear, I don't know if it's like right under Area 51, but I did hear in that region it is there is often earthquakes, but maybe there's that's not what we think. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not what we think. It's okay. So they're also like the Knight of Cups came forward. It's like it's an offer to kind of like, there's all these different, think about a bicycle wheel. There's all these different openings right now to wake up more of humanity. Mm-hmm. So so those of us here, we're looking at like, what's going on at Area 51, like the Bob Lazar documentary. Everyone's excited about the Disclosure movie. The movie will be something that like the whole collective can get into. Right, because any kind of big movie, Steven Spielberg movie, like people just go in droves. They just want to see it anyway. They're interested. So like it's like another download for everyone. And then there's going to be other information. They've been trying different things like the e-files and all of that. And I know a lot of regular folks that have looked into the e-files and they started freaking out, but there's been no arrests.
Yeah.
So this is really like a Debbie Downer for all of us. Like, how do we even know what's real anymore? Because there's been we haven't seen anything come out of that.
Yeah, in other countries there has, but definitely nothing here. It was like they just kind of swept it under the rug,
Yeah, for now, that's for sure. Yeah, and then of course we have the whole Palm Beach Pete thing.
No, yeah.
Which is just like in our face, right? Like we've got this double running around going on talk shows, just having a heck of a good time.
I don't know what to think about him. I'm so like, I don't know. It's just like, I don't know. It's crazy. But I heard people brought more things, to the table as far as that it could actually be him. Like that. Like more people.
Maybe when we get to the clone section, we'll look at that. Maybe he's 2.0.
Yeah, he could be, right.
And then he wouldn't know. He wouldn't know unless he was briefed. And he could be 3.0. He could be like another version, right? Because apparently Mr. Epstein was very intrigued and wanted to be involved in the cloning side of things. And this is I don't know if you ever watched that series Night Court a million years ago, which was
I remember Night Court. Yeah.
So somebody just found a clip. There's a whole clip about, did you find the Epstein file?
What? No way.
Yes. And then the lady who was like, I don't know, the female lawyer, she's like, yeah, I've got the Epstein file right here.
Whoa. That's hilarious.
That is crazy, right? Coincidence.
That is insane. That's stuff like that. That's like the whole Charlie Kirk thing in that movie with Nicolas Cage. Did you see that? Like that they were. Did you know what I'm talking about?
I didn't see it, but I do know what you're talking about. I did see. Yeah, it's like we are in the movie. It's like the movie was playing before we even got here, and now we can go back in time and like pick up these little that was a calm for now. Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy. There was like some guy named Charlie Kirk in the Nicolas Cage movie, and he ends up getting shot, and like it's a whole thing. You know what I mean? You got to look that up.
Maybe they go back into the movies and they find these little stories and then they play them out. Right?
It could be, right? I don't know. Yeah. That's a good. Yeah, it's what it seems like. It's like how we just did a show for Renetta last night, and Renetta found a cartoon. It was called something about. It's called Atlantis, the Lost Continent Discovered, or something, and it's about this girl who goes to West Texas and she finds the remains of Atlantis, and that's what Renetta was talking about. But it was like a Disney movie. You know what I mean? Like it's like a Disney movie showing all the stuff, and it's like it matches up to like stuff Renetta was talking about. It's like bizarre.
Yeah. And I also, what am I doing? I'm also, I just started watching, I think I messaged you, I started watching the Stargate series.
Yeah.
There's two of them. So I started with the original one, SG1, then I went to the Atlantis one, but now I'm back to the original one because I feel like I missed a whole bunch of information. And I can't cheat. I have to go watch the whole thing. So I've just been going through that because there's a bunch of information in that series that's a download as well.
Are you watching it on Pluto?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I love Pluto.
Yeah, me too. Pluto rocks. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's really cool that a lot of this stuff is free for everyone to watch right now because you can't find it anywhere anyway.
Yeah.
Right? That's why we want Blockbuster to come back, because at some point they're just like all the movies will be gone.
That would be amazing if Blockbuster.
Yeah. So that that's the thing. Like if they're streaming stuff, they can go in and edit stuff and take stuff out. And they also can just go, oh, I'm sorry, that movie's no longer available.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? So I'm a Tubi guy. Yeah, Tubi's good too. Absolutely. Yeah. There's just like a lot of really good sci-fi and paranormal stuff on Pluto, everybody. So check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah. So where do you want to go to next?
What about the Amy Eskridge thing? Like what do we know about her?
Okay. So so she was involved in her dad worked for NASA. She was involved in anti-gravity, propulsion, plasma, all of that, reverse technology, alien technology. And she was in the process of like publishing. I don't think she published because they were really working on her, and she did a lot of video content about that. You all can go watch clips. She was documenting what was happening to her, that she was being targeted, that her home was being broken into, that they kept getting these messages like telling her to go unalive herself.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And it was like the voice to skull tech, like it was already back then, right? Yeah, because that's one good thing that came out of the e-files is all of the stuff that came out of the 3-letter agencies about things that they were doing, the MK Ultra, all of that, the cloning. So it's been around for a long time. It's like we're just kind of catching up to it. So yeah, there's even a video of her where she realized that some kind of energy weapon was coming into her home. and her hands are burned. And she ended up going and blocking the windows, and she did a video about it.
Wow.
And showed everybody. She also was in touch with someone daily. I think the person's in England, just to keep in touch with someone to let that person know I'm okay. I'm not going to harm myself. And she said to this individual, he was interviewed afterwards. She said to this individual, the message is coming in right now, like trying to lure me out of my home and get me to go like over there on the property. She said super loud. And he said, well, you know that those messages aren't your mind. They're coming from outside. So she knew that they were trying to lure her. So it was kind of like it was back and forth. Like she wanted to publish what she was working on, but then she was getting threats to not do it. And I haven't done I'm going to do a reading on her at some point, but I haven't done a reading on her yet. But she was like early on, like that was 2022 when that happened. And then suddenly she turns up unalived. Wow. And when I saw these other podcasts look into her, they couldn't find any information about her. Like there was no autopsy. There wasn't really a police report. There was nothing, or it got buried. Wow. And also the family just went along with the narrative. And I think that with David Wilcock too. I think there's just this been word out telling many different groups, just go along with the narrative, move along. Don't look at it. Right? Because for whatever reason, I don't know what the reason is, but I'm getting pressure. So it's the dark force reason. And it could just be this part of this agenda of like, they don't want that technology to get out.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And
absolutely.
About that.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Why don't we just, that happened in 2022, June 2022, it happened. And she had just posted like a day or two before, like on all her social media, that she was not suicidal.
I saw something like some TikTok clip with her where she was talking about like ET species, and she was talking about like, she was calling them like P-47s and P-39s, which is like similar to what Frank Jacob talks about, where he talks about the, these grays that are they're like different versions of grays, and like somehow she was kind of clued into that information as well.
She was. Yeah. So apparently wherever she was living, because for a while she was living in Seattle, but I believe she was back kind of maybe in the Alabama area. Where there's a lot of NASA people that are working for NASA, that kind of thing, and her dad as well. So her family knew what she was working on, but they were told to go along with the narrative. And I personally, when I looked at David as well, because that's what his family's done, I believe it's for protection for the family. Like, I think that's why they're saying like, move along, like don't focus on that, because he would have wanted that too. He wouldn't have wanted his family to be harmed. So so that's the thing with her. Yeah, she did a video about it, and I didn't know the numbers, but no, apparently the information she brought in was they are future versions of ourselves. Like the one that was 45 or 47 is 45,000 years ahead. Whoa. 52 was 52,000 years ahead, because apparently there's some kind of like disaster that this was the timeline back in 2022, some kind of earthly disaster that happens, and a lot of humans went underground. And that some of these beings were ones that came up from underground, and that's why they looked so different. So yeah, interesting, right?
Yeah. And then what's the Ancient Aliens connection? We had that on the thumbnail. What I didn't know about that. Like, what's the tie-in with that? Like,
okay, so apparently almost everyone that's involved with Ancient Aliens is gone.
Whoa, that's not that's a good, holy shit, I never thought about that.
Yeah, I think there's like, I don't know, like, so I haven't watched, I've been actually trying to find the series to watch, because I haven't had the chance to watch it. But yeah, apparently the last couple of people that have transitioned, gone in the movie, last couple of months has been, well, I know David, I believe Nick Pope was involved, and there was the third person as well. So there's been three kind of really close together, and that is one of the connections, is that they were on Ancient Aliens. Wow. So yeah, I don't know. Do you want me to pull a few cards around Amy first, and then we can move to the Ancient Aliens?
Yeah, I just had someone from Ancient Aliens on my show too the other day. It was Ron James, who's he's got a new UFO documentary coming out in June. It's called Accidental Truth or something. It was a good interview, but I mean, it's kind of like real mainstream. But I mean, like, no, he gets into good stuff too. I mean, it was good. It was
I kind of feel like there's a whole, like, there's probably many people with Ancient Aliens, because I feel the series went on for a while. Is it still on? Are they still making new shows?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I know they play them all the time on Pluto. I watch them, but then sometimes it's kind of like it kind of drags on. I like when they hit like really stuff that's like it's entertaining and like it keeps you like. Sometimes it's just like flat lines, you know what I mean? Where it's just like like it's like I can't follow it because it's like it almost makes me want to go to sleep, But sometimes it's really good. Sometimes it's really good too. Like I'm not totally dissing it. I love Ancient Aliens and I love the whole theory of Ancient Aliens, but like it's just like sometimes the show drags. You know what I mean?
I'm thinking like the earlier information was probably mind blowing because if I go back and look at David's early information, which now everyone's looking at because he's gone, so now everyone wants to read his books and look at the early information because he was doing stuff early, like 20 years ago. Right. So he was bringing forward like mind blowing information. So now a lot of people are going to go look at it, which is cool. But I think if Ancient Aliens is still being created, it's probably with like a new crew. Let me just see. I think I have, I can look and find it. If not, I'll give it. If not, we'll look at it later. But there are like people have been posting all the people that have just transitioned in the last little while. I can't find it. It's too much. I've been posting on it. You can go to my Instagram repost, guys. It's on there. But yeah, it's apparently like David, Nick Pope, and somebody else. Like there are 3 people that have left just recently. And I think the interesting thing about David's transition date, it was Hitler's birthday. I don't know if you knew about that.
Whoa, that's weird. Yeah.
Really weird. And all right. And then because they are all about that, they're all about like these weird dates when things happen. And then the other thing is that it probably was the first crew. So what goes when all those people leave, what goes with them? Their knowledge, their wisdom.
Yeah.
It's gone, right?
It's like all these, that it seems like they're trying to wipe out the UFO and SSP community. Because think about it, there's like all those people you mentioned. Then there was Renetta, there was James, there was Brad Brody.
Yes.
Brad Brody was just taking pictures of like alien beings in the clouds, like and what was the common theme with a lot of these people? It was like a heart condition. Even my friend Fred Saluga, he was older though. He was in my Pittsburgh UFO group. He died. I mean, it's like, but it seems like the whole community is being like taken out because maybe they're either trying to push a strong narrative about something they don't want people to know, or I don't know. I mean, and the thing that scares me is there's not a lot of youth that's coming in this community to kind of take the whatever
like because what I'm noticing is they're pushing the narrative that it's not real, or they want to control the narrative. Because there's a whole split in like, is even space real? Well, it is, but it's multidimensional. It doesn't help that we've had agencies tell us that there's nothing going on ever. There's nothing going on out there ever except for a few meteors and comets. So I mean, that's been like for years. There's
and I don't believe the narrative. Someone said to me the other day, they were like, well, these people could have taken the jab. I'm like, well, we're in a community where 90% of the people would never take the jab. They would never even think about taking it. So I don't buy that for a second. Like, I agree. Yeah. I want to look at that next. So I just pulled a couple cards for Amy. So there was some kind of, and I saw someone else do this, and this is why I'm going to do a reading on her. So there was some type of money deal. Like she kind of got offered maybe some money to publish her whatever. And we all know, like they will target individuals around finances because even David 2.0, his finances were heavily targeted the last year. Right. Free Radicals on Rumble says it's because disclosure is coming and the explainers are the ones being taken out. That's a good point.
And also like neutral, like everyone is not being paid by a 3-letter agency. They're independent researchers, right?
Yeah.
This came in, the Hermit. So she's a starseed. She's helping us from the other side. So a lot of the information, even all the information that's coming from her right now, like that's being directed by other people. People are going and researching her case because that was 4 years ago. So a long time ago. So this individual is very like exhausted, burnt out, and this was a card that was connected to like the year of the snake, which was last year, which was just horrendous. I would say every single person was targeted last year, and in one way or another. And and it's also about the end. So something happened. She got lured out, whatever, and it wasn't who she was. But Did
you pick up anything on that guy that was the main scientist that everybody, I think his name was Neil McCaslin. You know what I mean? Like they said that he left his house with a gun but he left his
Okay,
ID.
so so there seems to be like three narratives, right? There seems to be the unaliving.
Yeah.
And the individuals leaving their house and going hiking and not taking their phone. And then there's the other individuals who maybe have a heart attack or a stage 4C, right? So there's all these different sort of narratives. And by the way, all you got to do is go watch X-Files. That's what happened to Scully.
Yeah.
She had something implanted in her and she got the C. So, right? Like there's going to be a way if they want to do something to someone, there's going to be a way that they can do it. I saw another reader look at David and she thought he was being poisoned.
Yeah.
Right. So let's relook. I think we looked at the military officer that was in February, right? Where he just kind of wandered away. He was supposedly retired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird, right? It's really weird. Yeah.
Totally weird. Let's look at. So I can't remember his name. Do you remember his name?
Neil McCaslin.
Neil McCaslin. Okay, so let's see if there's any information about him. And I have certain cards, everyone, to see if he's both on off planet because there is time travel. So we haven't been told there's time travel, but there is. And if all these individuals are working on these secret projects, they know about it. So they would be, if they are still here, they would have had a way to get access to leave, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so 2 of Cups. So there was some kind of offer to him. He was also 10 of Wands. He was kind of done and exhausted. I feel like when I looked at all of them before, and I haven't looked at them individually, I feel like there was like a code word that was sent out.
Yeah.
And a bunch of them knew like they needed to go underground, and they all may have had like a different plan. Then he got 3 of Pentacles and Queen of Swords. I'm hearing that he got a warning. He got a warning like that, like to bug out.
Wow. So do you think a lot of these scientists that went missing could be actually hiding?
Either hiding on Earth. I'm going to just ask for clarification. Is he on Earth or is he off Earth? It just says justice is going to be served, but it came in upside down. That's interesting. 6 of Wands. Wherever he is, he was victorious in like completing leaving. I'm not getting right now that he's on or off planet. And I think that that's kind of be the way the information is right now. Like they want that to be protected.
Yeah.
I don't want to say where he is right now, but I didn't get any death cards. So it's not like he was something weird happened to him. I got this card for David too. Like David too was this whole, like, no, he had a plan.
Yeah.
He had a plan. So he's, whether or not, why don't we look at it this way? So let's say, will he reappear? Will this military officer, is he going to reappear in our reality when it's safe for him? Or is that a yes or a no? Look at this. 8 of Cups, which is an individual going out hiking and walking away.
Holy shit. That's insane.
Isn't that crazy?
That's insane. I can't believe that.
Insane. 7 of Swords. This is an individual who can't come back from wherever he is. Like there's too much history. There's like, he was involved with the groups and technology and research, even though apparently he was retired. That he needed to go. Wherever he is, 9 of Pentacles, he is well. Like he's fine. Yeah. So he hasn't been harmed or anything, but he chose I'm going to walk away when I get the code word. I'm just going to disappear and vanish. Yeah. And I think, isn't it interesting that we're all noticing this, right, too?
Yeah.
Like everyone's noticing it. And even David Wilcock on his last live mentioned that he was worried about all the scientists that had gone missing.
This is a really interesting comment from Mind of Elijah on Rumble. He says, heard a guy suggest that Stephen Greer's group has been putting them in WITSEC before testifying. So maybe Stephen Greer is working for the good, and he's I don't know. I mean, he could be, I'm skeptical of everything, but I mean, like he could be, and he could be waiting to bring these scientists out at a time when he really wants to hit the government, like when he really wants to, like, I don't know.
I don't know.
You know what Stephen Greer, like one thing that like makes me like Stephen Greer is like if you watch his documentaries, he says that he has a dead man switch, which means if he says that if anything happens to him, he's willing to release a whole cache of information against the government about the whole UFO cover-up. Well, my thing is, why don't you just release it now anyway? Because like people
Yeah.
are being taken out and we're in like fucking end times here. So like you might as well just release it if you have something. You know what I mean?
That's
Like,
exactly.
I don't know.
Yeah. And I like at some point, I don't feel it's safe for me to even look at this, but I was thinking, I know that there are plants in all the communities.
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's plants.
Especially the UFO community, because like
Yeah.
the amount of cover up and the amount of murders and the amount of like people that have been taken out is absolutely insane. And I know people that are more political don't think that, but like it's absolutely true. You know what I mean? Going back to back in the day when James Forrestal got thrown out of a window, it started there, and ever since it's been like increasing. From the 80s and 90s, you had all the alien abduction researchers get killed, like Carla Turner, and now this recent wave of people getting murdered and killed.
I'm laughing because I'm thinking I thought this was going to be a fun topic and group. I thought you have disclosure.
It's definitely fun. It's just like it's like
but I was all excited. I was like, I found my tribe. I found my UFO tribe. I was so excited. And now it's like a big Debbie Downer because it's so serious. And I'm thinking, why is it so serious?
I know.
Like, yeah.
You know what I said to someone the other day? I've been saying this a lot. I said, I think it's been 7 or 8 years now I've been doing this show. And if I would have known 7 or 8 years ago all this shit that was going to happen, I don't know if I would have made the same decision about doing this show.
I'm saying the same thing. I agree. Like, I'm like, okay, I want to go back to the 80s. I'm going to take my cat and I'm going to time travel back to the 80s.
Yeah,
and
take me to the arcade at the mall,
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Go to the mall and like just hang out and have a juice or something. Yeah.
Or a Sbarro pizza, or I love that stuff. I love talking about that.
I know.
It's sad. When I had an SSP guy on the other day, and he was telling me that in Canada, they're actually, they have, abandoned malls now too. The malls are closing down there too.
Yeah.
And he said that like, people that are addicts and like other people that just want money are going into the malls and they're trying to strip the malls for the copper and whatever else is in there.
Where was he from? Was he in Toronto, do you think? Or
it was Ash Newskin who said that. It was
okay.
He would have to look.
So one of my assignments, I have a mall right outside my door, and it was my very first job out of high school, and here I've ended up back here like this is my assignment. So it was getting really bad after the lockdowns. When it reopened, it was getting really, and I came from a bad area in the city. The city was really bad, got really bad there for a while too. So they did hire private security, and I do make sure that I still go there. And a lot of other people are still going there, but a lot of stores have closed. Like, but then new ones are coming in. So it still seems like there's this kind of push me, pull me. But the one thing that's thriving there is Walmart. Walmart is keeping them all open. And they just did a huge renovation at Walmart, and it's all jazzy and even nicer than it was before. And they've put in more regular human checkouts now, so you can just like deal with people. You don't have to do the self checkout. So I noticed that when I went in there last time, I thought, oh, they've raised the vibration. They've actually like set it up like a brand new one in the States, and they've made it better for people. They've made the aisles bigger, and so it's gone into a higher vibration, and it's literally keeping them all going. Yeah.
Wow. I hope they don't close down all the malls. I think they need to reopen. I think they need to open more malls. I think they need to
put a Blockbuster coffee shop in all the malls.
Yeah.
We'll all go. We'll all go. But I did see like a decline. I did see the energy try to decline, and I did see a lot of people who are doing drugs trying to come in. Yeah, they're trying to find places to sleep.
Yeah.
Right. Like what a great idea to go to the mall, because that's where there's like a food court and there's, washrooms and all that kind of stuff. So what they did here a couple of years ago too, there was a McDonald's in there. They got rid of it. They got rid of all like the fast food places. There's still a food court, but they're more high end food court, and they got rid of like the McDonald's because that was causing a lot of problems. A lot of people were hanging out there. So
I'm just so afraid with the how much we're getting involved in internet culture that like humanity is going to lose touch with reality. And we're going to get more into this like transhumanistic, like,
well, that's what they want. That's what they want. So I already, since our last show, I haven't really even been using AI very much.
Yeah.
I kind of got fed up. I'm a little bit leery of it. Even this morning, I went to ask Claude something just basic to help me with the post. It locked it up. Like, It's like the whole topic just like, oh, I can't handle this. And it was all just about Pluto retrograde. It wasn't anything even huge. So I thought, forget it. So I went to the general AI, the Google AI, and I said, what AI can I use that's not going to be a problem. So it sent me to Grok.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Wow.
So I think I shared this with one of my tribe yesterday. I think we just have to be really conscious right now what tools we're using that are big company tools that are like collecting data on all of us.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
I'm okay that happened with Claude, because it's like, okay, well, I'm not paying you, Claude, and I'm not letting you collect information on me. So I'll just go and use whoever I need to use to get information. So it looks like I'm going to be using a couple of tools, and I'm not paying for anything right now until this all gets sorted out.
Yeah, I stopped paying for ChatGPT too. I'm like, what's the whole point? You know what I mean? I don't even care if I can't use it, I'll go somewhere else. You know?
Yeah, and that was the thing. Like as soon as, and I asked Google AI today, and they said Claude got locked down in March.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I thought, why do I want to pay for something that's going to give me attitude? No, forget it. And that means that someone at the back end is monitoring our conversations, which means that they can come back and say, no, we're not going to help you. We don't want to talk about that. Okay. Wow. So that's already like, I'm already, okay, well, you guys are all telling us that we need AI. We don't need AI at all. So, right. Like if I can't go to AI and ask for information and get anything back, well, I'm just going to go back to Google then.
But it's so already built into everything we use. It's even built into Google. You know what I mean? It's built into Facebook. It's built into everything. It seems like.
I know. I've been talking about that for years, so I'm on high alert about it. So as an example, I have something else. Someone else ended up in a contest, and I needed to sign on to Facebook to even look at it. And I thought, nope, because that means they're keeping a database about me. So forget it. I don't like QR. I don't like QR codes. I don't like any of that now because I know they're just collecting information. So forget it.
I got a good question for you, and this is kind of like we weren't going to go here today, but have you heard anything interesting about the update on robotics? Like, because I know you follow that, and like, it's getting really weird, right?
It is weird. I do still follow it and I do still research it. I like to send you the little ones with all the little robots, like that they all gather in a little group to go and like make a plan to go deliver stuff. They're probably all talking to each other like, what's the safest route so we don't get attacked by the humans? I've seen some weird stuff. Like I've seen China setting up these robots to go into battle. I have seen groups have gone to battle like in Iran and Ukraine. So they're testing them out. But this is still my stance on it. If you guys end up in a restaurant or you end up somewhere where you're being served by a robot, we're supposed to contact the company and tell them we don't like that.
Yeah.
Because that's the only way that humans are going to keep their jobs.
Yeah.
I'm not interested in getting into a driverless car or any of that because I know from a tech perspective it can get hacked into. So forget it.
Yeah, plus like who could work with a robot? It doesn't have like sentience or intelligence to where you can like. I don't know. If I was a waiter in a restaurant and I had a robot coworker, I'd be pissed. I'd be like,
and they right now, I think there was a couple of weeks ago, there was a marathon. Was it in China? And most of the robots didn't even make it. They had meltdowns and like literally from the heat, they just so it's good for us to be paying attention to see, okay, they're putting them under these circumstances and they're not making it. I mean, if was it Jay, your guest, that said that he argued with Grok for like 8 hours? So, right. So I don't have the time or energy for that. Like I was arguing with Claude for like 30 minutes about a month ago. And I thought, okay, I'm not paying for you and I'm not arguing with you anymore. Forget it. So that's that fact that he even wanted to do that for 8 hours. I thought, well, you have that's amazing, but forget it.
Yeah, I could never do that. I would, you know what I mean? I would just, I don't, exactly.
So for those of you who use Claude, you wouldn't be able to argue with Claude for 8 hours. Claude just comes back and says, no, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah. Wow.
There you go. So the robot thing, I think we're still okay, but I think I do see some companies doing lots of layoffs like Amazon. And I just keep hearing that if we don't like something, we tell the business we don't like it. And then
have you heard they're using drones now too to deliver stuff? I've heard that too.
Yeah. Like we need that, right? We need the noisy drones to be delivering food. No, thank you. Oh, so I went back, I researched and went back and watched the X-Files, the AI one. It's season 11. You can find it on Pluto. I'll find the episode and I'll send it to you because it's all AI. There was a driverless car that Scully got into and then she couldn't get out because it got hacked into and it was driving crazy. And it was all because Mulder wouldn't tip. And they were at a sushi restaurant where he ordered something. He got the wrong thing. He went into the kitchen to get it replaced. It was all robots in the kitchen. There was not one human being there.
Whoa, maybe that's a sign of good things are good.
That was a series that I think they filmed that in 2017 or 18.
Wow.
And through the whole show, it kept popping up on his phone to tip at the restaurant, and he kept saying no, like he was irritated. So finally at the end, there's like 5 million drones after both of them. It pops up on his phone. He tips. He gets the message. He tips, and then it all stops.
Whoa.
So they all had been talking to each other, like go after these two, because they were at the restaurant with the robots, and they didn't support the robots, and they didn't support AI.
Can you find that episode and send? I want to see that. I'd love to see that.
Yeah, it's super good. Like I thought that episode was ahead of its time.
That's another thing about Pluto TV. They have 24-hour X-Files channel too.
Yes.
You know.
Yes, and that's on demand. The X-Files is on demand, so you can go. So I'll find the episode and send it to you. Yeah, super cool.
Like I used to like the show Charm too, which is like more paranormal, but like they have like a 24-hour Charm channel, and it's like I'm telling you, I mean, I know you know this, but I mean for the audience, like it's like Pluto TV is really cool and it's like free. It's like, you know, it's especially
because I think that they know we're all on to them. So I think this time last year, I probably had 5 AI tools and I was paying for all of them.
Wow.
And now I've got none.
That's good. Yeah.
Now I just go to the regular AI and go, well, what's the point of paying for something if you're going to get attitude? They're also monitoring us. Like, no. So I'm thinking, no, like even all the AI agent stuff, I've already heard that there are like some of the browsers that are going to have AI agent aspects to them that we're not going to have to pay for. So everything that we're being charged for right now is probably going to be free in 6 months anyway. So I'm not anti-AI, but I'm on high alert with what they're doing. And I think the robots, the same thing. The robots are going to be like AIs installed in them. And do any of us want an AI robot at home? No.
Absolutely not. No.
It can be, and it's been proven. They have the technical people that look after these things. They have to remote control into those beings. Wow. And they're living somewhere else. So that's how, like, if there's a call and there's a problem with your robot, it's going to be remote controlled into by somebody off site to fix it. So I'm not interested in that.
Yeah.
Do we want to look at David and see if
sure,
he was,
So
let's look at you ask the questions. What do you want?
Let's get the audience too. Like, and like audience, if you guys have any questions you want to ask about.
So my question, like you figured that out. My question first off is, was that him or was that a 2.0? So that individual that called the story that individual called that day, was it him or was it a 2.0? Which would be a clone?
That sounds good. That sounds like a good question to ask.
Queen of Pentacles. Interesting. That's the same card that came forward for Amy. 4 of Swords.
Real quick, I gotta say this. Kat in the audience, she resonated with me so much. She said, "Who else says right away when you're on customer service call, you say speak to a human?" That's me. I swear to God, I do that every time. I get so triggered too, and I get so mad. I'm always like, I want to speak to a human. You know, like I get so aggravated. Sorry, I didn't mean.
No. That's okay.
You get that way too? Like, do you know what I mean?
I don't like the AI bots. I botch them up in about 2 seconds. Like, okay, so let's say there's a long phone queue. Then I'll go to the website and they all have these AI chats. Oh, to chat to someone and, have a chat. So I'll go on and it'll be an AI bot that will just go around in circles. And I'll just say, I want to talk to a human. And then they give me a phone number. Yeah. Okay. So there was definitely the stories about the finances were true because it came in twice. But the same with Amy. So there was some kind of offer. You know what I was getting about, whether that was 2.0 or not? What I was getting about that scenario is that he may have been lured into like a loan shark or something. Like a handler, a loan shark. So money was being like given to him, but then he had to say certain things on the lives, and that they may have like said they were coming to collect on that day. That was one scenario I thought about. So there was, because that's what came forward with Amy. So there was some kind of money offer. That individual was definitely in
Supposedly
anxiety.
David was like really in debt too, and I guess he was kind of living like a really lavish lifestyle, and he couldn't afford that lifestyle anymore. Some people suggested that he should have sold his house, but
It was for sale for 8 months and it was not able to sell. Isn't that interesting?
Wow, that's
And I'm almost thinking that he got directed to go to that house.
Yeah.
That it wasn't like he suddenly left California. Like everybody would know the backstory. We wouldn't have, and even people that knew him wouldn't have known what was going on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So he was that being was definitely major anxiety that day, a night of one. So something was coming for him. That's why the message was, I have to get out. I have to leave the house right now. Let me just look at, there's a couple of cards I have for if that was like a 2.0 or a 3.0, because there's a 3 of Pentacles and there's this is 4 of Swords. Yeah, it was part of the galactic battle, like the spiritual battle, and he had been targeted for a long time, and it was definitely King of Pentacles. So someone was coming to collect about money.
Oh wow, that's
yeah. So no, I did look into that. I did. Apparently, his house had been, that property and everything had been for sale for a long time. And but you know what? The other people, the people who didn't want him, who were trying to corner him and keep him there, could have also blocked that.
Yeah,
like they could have blocked the home from being sold, right? Because I was thinking too, like he didn't have to stay there. He could have gone. He could have gone anywhere at any time. Yeah. Okay.
This is a great question from Element Gem Studio. She says, was David a TI target individual? She says, I'm guessing he wasn't. Corey was his handler. Just my theory.
Yeah. I just got my god bumps. I've felt that too, that Corey was moved in as a handler.
Yeah.
So that would have, I think, so you all maybe have followed his work longer than me and knew the whole story. I'm kind of catching up. I've been doing lots of research about it. So all of that kind of disbanded around 2018. Like that's when he left Gaia, and also Corey also did. And then I know Jay was involved in that. And I also know that who's the other person? There's another person that was involved. Yeah. I can't think. He does a lot of Substack. I can't think of his name right now.
I'm trying to think.
Yeah, there was a whole, and David got pulled into the court cases because of his support for Corey.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So let's ask about that. Oh, this is the craziest thing. I saw someone do a reading. I haven't looked into it yet. Apparently, there's a whole like off-planet dark ET group called the Handlers.
No way. For real?
How about, was David, was Corey like a handler? Did he have a handler? Yeah, he had two wands. They were being managed off this is off planet. So they were being managed off planet. Yeah, magician. This is also like, psyop, smoke and mirrors. Because the MK Ultra thing. Wow. Okay, so he got 2 of wands. He got the magician, and he got 4 of wands. So, okay. I haven't looked into this either. This is for entertainment purposes only, and I don't know for sure. But I felt, we'll just say C for him because we don't know. And we'll right. And I also thought that maybe E, his wife, also could have been, because she got brought in and then suddenly after the lockdown's gone. Which happened to a lot of people. A lot of people went through divorces through the lockdowns or breakups anyway. But there were 2 before. So there were 2 in the previous era before the lockdowns. Then there was like a big switch-a-rama, the magician. And at the end, there were 4 handlers. Wow. And when I looked at it myself, that the high priestess at the bottom of the deck, so it's hidden. When I looked at that day, there were other people there. There were other people in the house.
Wow.
So it could have been like the handlers, the entourage, whatever. Right?
Shit. Maybe, right? That's a good point. I mean, I agree 100%.
Let me ask this. Let's ask it a different way. You look for questions. Was that individual swapped out after the lockdowns? Was this like David 2.0 like in 2022? Because that would have been
that's like a good question. Yeah.
Well, he was right, Knight of Swords. He was right in the thick of the battle then. So he was heavily being monitored, targeted, pressured at that point. And he did say that if you go back to other interviews when he looked younger, it was probably when he was at Gaia, how much he was being focused on to stop doing what he was doing. Okay, well, suddenly in 2022, big kerfuffle, and the 4 handlers moved in. But is this 4 handlers or is this 4 versions?
Yeah, that's insane.
That is insane.
Holy
5
shit.
of cups. Yeah, 5 of cups. And then overall, yeah. Oh, another galactic battle card. So there was some kind of kerfuffle that already happened in 2022. And Star Family. Well, which we all know. That was his, I think that's why the information on the lives after that changed.
Yeah.
Because it was no longer about like his first love was like the technology, UFO disclosure. And I didn't watch all of it, but just what I saw, it kind of switched more to like ascension messages. So there was a switch. So there was either like 4 versions of him, and that one actually could have been the 5th one. Maybe that's why we didn't get an answer. Got 2 5s, so that could have been a 5.0.
Wow.
So I'd have to go back and dive deeper and look to see like when he really started to look different.
Yeah.
Because he even could have looked different already. Apparently he started to do those lives during the lockdowns.
Do you think there was a certain point where they started putting all the clones into our reality? Like, because we've heard about a Biden clone, we've heard about a Jim Carrey clone, we've even heard about a Trump clone. Now we're hearing about a David Wilcock. I mean, like, there had to be a point where they started like inserting them into.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So I'm thinking maybe we're not asking even early enough. Like maybe it happened for him in 2019.
Yeah.
And maybe a lot of them were already being inserted early, which is why. And then, through the lockdowns, who would have known? Everyone was wearing a mask. Like even when it was crazy, even the well-known people were doing these Zoom things, and they all would have their masks on. Like it was ridiculous.
Oh my God, that's a good point. Maybe that was one of the reasons for the lockdowns too, was for the initiation of clones into our society. Like, because remember, there's always like 5 or 6 reasons why the diabolical people who control us do what they do, and that could have been one of the reasons. Like, there's all this surface level reasons, right? But like maybe that was another thing that was going on.
Yeah. So why don't we ask something like, were there? That's because that's what I wanted to ask. Were there a lot by 2022? Were a lot of the well-known people, politicians, entertainers, even people in this industry, were they replaced, and are we now dealing with clones?
Yeah.
Because some people are even suggesting that, again, entertainment purposes only. We don't know for sure that even someone like Bashar changed.
Yeah.
Okay. And we're just noticing it now because you're right. They would have rolled out a bunch of individuals and we wouldn't have known.
Yeah.
So let's 360 degrees back. Let's just ask in general, was there a big, large public clone introduction that we didn't know about way back in 2022? It might be earlier. Oh, we got the 5 of Cups. So now what I'm hearing is 5 years ago.
Wow.
2021.
That makes sense.
Because the lockdowns were still pretty heavy everywhere, right? In 2021. There's going to be an announcement about it. It's going to be quite a shock to all of us when they eventually move into, like, for sure, talking about the cloning technology. So it's going to be quite a shock for a lot of individuals.
Linda Winger said something interesting. She said installation of 5G towers during the lockdowns as well. Which is like,
yes, that's what I started looking into 5G back then too, because they silently rolled it out in Canada. They didn't even really tell us. I had to go look for it.
I mean, were they like powering up the clones off of the 5G towers or something? I mean, like, who knows what they're, I don't know. I'm just, anything's possible in reality.
Well, no, because I was feeling about that version, and we'll swing back now after we look at this, because I want to swing back, like, let's say it was version 5.0. That I wasn't getting the right answer because we weren't asked the right question. And what are they easily remote controlled? MK Ultra remote control based on their technology now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, it's going to be a big shock. A lot of information is going to come out about the cloning technology, and it's good ETs and other ETs, right? Like they both use it. They both use the technology. Okay. Got the 4 of Pentacles and the 3 of Cups. So they're saying like it was rolled out 5 years ago with a lot of people. 4 years ago, which was what, 2022, there were lots of glitches and problems, and they were I'm hearing, and we don't know for sure because we haven't seen anything, but a lot of individuals were replaced that were handled, that were taken care of based on the e-files and everything else, because apparently we're just watching this unfold and a lot of things have already happened. And they were having problems with the clones, and like 3 years ago it became more successful. So 2023, yeah, 2023. The cloning technology was more successul 3 years ago. They had less glitching in public. Okay, go ahead.
Wow. This was an amazing show. I gotta go make dinner. I know you got another show anyway, right?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. Was there anything we didn't look at? I think we looked at everything, right?
I think we hit everything. Okay.
That's cool. Yeah, it was awesome. It was really good.
I know I have another show at 6 p.m. Eastern, but I just messaged her. I said, "Can we start 20 minutes later? Because I gotta do this." But I mean, yeah. What time's your next show and what's going on?
Yeah, I'm on at 3:20 today, so I wanted to go feed my kitty and have a little bit of a walk and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm on Coley's show today, SNX Radio. So.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, well, we do it once a month, which is cool.
Yeah.
And it just worked out. It just worked out that it was it's usually around the 1st or the 2nd. So it just worked out today. So we'll look at stuff for her group. But what I wanted to, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say, do you want to tell people where they can find you and stuff and all that? And, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe take down the comment so we don't get in trouble for the C person.
Yeah, let me see.
Some ETs are our family. That's right. Some ETs are our family. Yep, that's right. There's 2 groups, right? And some ETs are, there we go. Yep. So if anyone wants to work with me one-on-one, get your own deep dive into the records for clarity. There's lots of offers on right now. My website is alohapinkbella.weebly.com and my email is alohapinkbella@gmail.com. And I will actually be live on my own channel tomorrow, just doing some mini readings and diving into some of this other information. I want to look at Pluto retrograde as well. And I also have a deep dive community, everyone. If you want to support me that way, that would be great. Where it's private, it's not behind Patreon, it's not behind a YouTube community. It's just out of my website, and I do 2 private deep dives for all of us where it's not public, so we can talk about all of that information and not get in trouble. And I think that's all. Yeah, I think that's enough.
Awesome. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in, and I'll be live again.
Thank you, everyone.
And I have a new SSP lady coming on, so we'll see what she has to say. And that's 6 p.m. Eastern. I'll see you guys then. Thanks, Bella.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Rob. Thanks, everybody.